Hi, what's up guys? And welcome to a rainy edition of Spiritual Encounters. We're going to take you a daytime walk around some of the areas where we've been doing paranormal recently. And we'll have a little talk about ghosts, witchcraft, anything else that comes along. And if we see any local people who are out crazy enough as us to be out in this rain, we'll ask them if they've had any ghost sightings or anything unusual happening to them in this region, this hall and these woods. So let's go on our way, and I think we'll first off talk about our witchcraft expert. Is standing right here in front of me, and also Andy's here. Witchcraft and magic, Andy. Let's just talk a little bit more about that, because I know to some people witchcraft is still that fearful thing that the Hollywood movies have created.
Yeah, I mean, people need to go away from all that and read the proper, not the novel, not the stories and everything like that. They need to be reading proper books about witchcraft and finding out what it is and talk to people involved, because people seem to think there's so many different areas of paganism, there's so many different areas, so many things that different people followed. I need about a 10-hour video to go through it all. So yeah, but there are different things. There's different what people believe in. There's different. It's the same as the Christian religion. You know, you have most of the Christian religion or so-called Christian religion, believe in Jesus and one God. You know, you've got Catholics, you've got Church of England, you've got Jewish religion, they believe in Jesus and one God. You have Mormons, Church of the Latter-day Saints and all that lot. So you've so many different areas. You know, like Judaism, they don't believe in Christmas, they stick rigidly to what is said in the Bible. Same with Jehovah's Witnesses, but it's all the Christian religion and it's all a Christian belief. So witchcraft and paganism is all you can talk to two witches, and although they both are witches, they both have different views on what the witchcraft is, and it's all about nature, different gods for different things, different areas of how they're working and things like that. You know, you have fire, you have water, you have earth, you have spirit. You know, and there's different gods for different things. There's so many different things. You know, you're like in the woods now. You hear about the Green Man, who protects the woods. You know, and there's so many different things. And then you delves into the occult area, where you've got different forms of the occult and things like that, and you really need to read about it yourself, because I couldn't do it justice and I don't know everything. I just follow what I follow, and that's how it is. You've got
Smithles Hall is just coming into view, which is one of the places where we've done quite a few paranormal inside and outside overnight. We've done all on the bridge, around the courtyard. So if anybody wants to check out any of that footage, it's all titled Smithles in one way or another. But it's such a huge place, we've had to literally divide it up into parts in order to do it.
Yeah.
So on that subject of witchcraft, I think a lot of people, because they watch Harry Potter and stuff, which is brilliant, because it's really brought back like witchcraft to the modern day world, and all the youngsters are watching it and reading about it now and showing an interest, and it's keeping the pagan religion alive, which is one of the oldest traditions that Britain has got. So I think people think, you know, when you're doing spells and things like that, it's like Harry Potter, you just wave a wand and it's done, you know, the thing is done straight away, which is not how it works. We work by the moon. We start our spells on full moon or new moon, depending what kind of spell we're doing, whether it's a growth spell or a vanishing spell. And it takes a full lunar month for that to be completed. and then we release it into the atmosphere, and that is when the spell will then take shape. I'm always working on one spell or another, and if I'm doing a banishing, then it'll start at new moon and it'll finish at the next new moon, and we release it into the atmosphere. So there is a lot more to witchcraft and magic, but I do think that Hollywood is very responsible for giving witchcraft and certain types of magic a bad name, and giving the pentacle itself and the Ouija board like a bad reputation.
Yeah, a Ouija board has had a really bad reputation, and used in the wrong way, of people who don't know how to use a Ouija board, you can bring through negative energies. It's like using, so you've got to know how to use it, and you've got to be respectful of it. A Ouija board is the same as any device, any paranormal equipment that you use for contacting spirits. It's just that it's got a bad reputation through films, through books and things like that. And
the thing with Hollywood though is there's so much pressure on them to make really good movies that they have to do the Ouija board stories where it's a complete disaster and evil strikes, because if they did the stories where we're using the Ouija board and happy spirits are coming through or fabulous spirits are coming through, nobody go and watch the film.
There's no film. 99.9% of the time you use a Ouija board, people who know how to use the board, people who are used to using the board, it's just a way of contacting spirits. It's the same as me using the spirit talk, or a necrometer, or using an EMF meter detecting spirits. It's a way of talking to spirits. Now some spirits find it easier because it's not an electrical device, or it's not some sort of newfangled thing. So a lot of spirits from older times probably find it easier, in my opinion, to use a Ouija board. There's stories about if somebody's using a Ouija board, it's not going to be a good film if, we've got a really good spirit, it's a spirit of somebody from whatever, they're very happy, they don't want to be here, help them get across, and that's it. Always in the film, somebody who uses a Ouija board in a film or a television series, they're getting through a dark entity that destroys their life, and how they get rid of it in the end, and that's the film. And that's Hollywood. Yeah, it's exciting films and they're good films, but it shows it up in a bad area. Now people we've spoken to have said, oh my God, you've got a Ouija board. Oh God, are you not scared of using it? Well, no, because I use other stuff and I know how to open it up, I know how to close it down. And the problem is people get it on, manking about after they've had a few drinks, and that's when they get, sometimes not negative spirits, they get spirits coming through who, because they've invited them in and they've not closed it down properly, stay. Now, yeah, you might get things happening that people think are bad things, but they're not, they're just playful spirits, they're just not necessarily negative spirits. It's very, very rare. It's very rare that you get a demonic spirit coming through and things like that. It's very, very rare, and people have got to realise that. I mean, there's this story about Zozo. Now, I've used a Ouija board and I've had that come up, and you just close it down. But researched into it, if you got about demons, books on demons and stuff like that, there is no. Zozo is supposedly a Ouija board demon or demonic spirit. Now, whether that's right or not, I don't know, but so many people have had that come through, and people have said it's been a bad thing or whatever, and I've had that come through, and you just close it down. I've just always, as soon as I've had that, I've had it come through, I think once, it kept spelling it, and I just closed it down, shut it down and didn't use it. Got it home, cleansed it, and it's not come through since. So it's, whereas somebody who didn't know what they were doing would panic, throw the board away, and that's where your problems start. You know.
Alright, so we're going to head that way, down into the woods, to one of our first locations that we did when we first started out doing YouTube, which is the abandoned watermill just by the stream in Smithles Forest.
Yeah.
This is our local forest, and we have done paranormal down here before we started recording and actually putting stuff out for people to watch. And in the past we've picked up voices, we've picked up a whistle in the background, and when we did the late night paranormal, which was also in the pouring rain, we always seem to be down this neck of the woods literally in the pouring rain.
It's England.
Said a lot for our weather around here. We've had some activity on Spirit Box, and I'm going to try the radio down here because I have had some voices coming through by radio, so we'll continue down to talk a little bit more about the paranormal equipment. Because sometimes I think you just whip out the equipment and start using it, and sometimes you don't really explain. Nobody does, not just me and you, but other paranormal groups, unless people ask. You tend to not explain what the equipment is for and what it does, because you're so used to just using it, you forget that people are watching for the first time.
What you find is different areas, different locations, different times. One piece of equipment works better than others. I mean, you can go to a place and you can put out cat balls, you can put out REM pods, you can put out heat detectors, you can put out these musical boxes where the people come past. And that evening, all you will get reaction to is an EMF meter, you know, which we did the other night, didn't we, when we were in them woods. The EMF meter was going and nothing else seemed to be coming through really much. So different locations you find that the spirit find that they can probably, they're easier with that one, or it's easier for them to get through on that piece of equipment. So you can have, like some of these people, they'll put out thousands and thousands of pounds worth of equipment, and basically you won't get anything with it other than a cheap £10 radio from Asda, just going through the different stations, and you'll get stuff coming through with that. So just because you spent a fortune on paranormal equipment doesn't necessarily means you'll get better results. You know, it doesn't always work that way. We found that some stuff that you think, oh God, we'll get stuff with it. We haven't, you know, and
we started out with just our phones, didn't we?
Yeah, you know, and a lot of people use phones now, you know, and people say, oh, it's using your voice or things like that. But there are certain times that it says, oh, it's taking words that you're using and manipulating them in the speaker. And I think, yeah, but what about stuff that has come through of language that I never... We had one instance the other night, didn't we?
Yeah.
Of what came through. Now, I've never said that. I mean, basically, I got through on the spirit circuit, eat it.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never said that to anybody, ever.
No.
I've never used it in the conversation that night, you know.
Yeah.
So, what is that?
But it related to the kind of spirit we got through, though, didn't it?
And I always say to you, yeah, you need to put it on airplane mode, and it stops anything coming through. It stops, because if you don't put it on airplane mode, it can interfere with your equipment.
Yeah.
It can.
So for me, I started out in the 1970s doing paranormal with my dad. My dad did an Open University degree in the sciences. So over 7 years he studied all of the sciences. Unfortunately for me, one of those sciences was the paranormal. So back in the 70s, he did it with the Polaroid camera. He went out and took lots of photographs to see if he got any orbs. and he used the radio between the channels, which is what I still like to do now, to see if he got any spirit messages through. And another way he worked in haunted places like Smithers Hall, where we've just walked around now, he would put flour down and like a crucifix in the middle, and we'd go away and then come back, and if that object had moved, we could see that it had moved because we'd left it in the flour. So these are like 1970s kind of tried and tested methods. And if you go further back in time, especially to the Victorian times, when the seance was very popular, people use mirrors, you know, a lot for scrying, and for they expected the mirror to be some kind of a portal to let spirit through, and they would light candles and just scry into the mirror until they got something through. We've done the scrying here in the woods, we've done it down here by the stream, and we've also done it on the haunted bridge. So all of the videos that we've put out in this region, in the dark, after dark, are all either haunted forest or Smithers Hall. And we've tried all different kinds of methods of contacting spirit through paranormal. So we're going to head down to the abandoned watermill now, where we have had voices before, and we'll both do a little sort of burst of paranormal there and see if we get anything through.
But the thing is, people don't do. People are more interested in paying thousands of pounds for expensive equipment, and it's like, yeah, I mean, guilty as it is, you know, you think, oh God, I wish I want to try this, and you forget because you get the equipment and you do it, and it seems easier. Things like piece of paper with like a cross on it or coins on it, draw around them, leave them in a room, come back in about an hour's time, see whether those coins have moved. Leave a camera on them, see the coins, and it's like you said with the flour. People don't try those things nowadays.
Yeah, because they rely too much on the latest gadgets.
It's too much relying on the new things that don't always give you a good result, because sometimes they can be muddied. You know, you do.
I'll go down this way. I'm going to have to watch the path for a minute because it's a bit slippery down there, and I don't want to end up in that cold stream. You know, it's not the plan. You get so involved in the filming and all that sometimes you forget, you know, there's tree trunks sticking out, and it's just, you know, a lot of trees have fallen over in this woods from the storms, so they've just been left. I think the council come along and saw some of the trunk and the branches off and all that to keep the path clear, but there's still a lot of mud and stuff. It's easy to go flying and end up in the swamp, as we have done so many times on our paranormal shoots. But we don't cut that out, we always keep it in because we like to show people how it really is, do you know what I mean? Sometimes you're juggling with nature, you know, and quite often you're juggling with animals when they sort of like stride into shot and start barking and things like that. It just happens. You know, you just got to do your best in the area that you're at with as little you know, distraction as possible. So this is the site of the old watermill. Now, all I know about this is it did used to be a watermill because my dad went to Thornley School, which is just through the woods there at the back, and his kids, they used to come into the woods after school and to play and whatever, and there was a watermill. It was a working watermill back in the 1940s, 1950s, early 1950s, and there was actually a handful of people working here. There used to be a bridge right here that you could go across, but obviously over time it's just become abandoned. So if you take the camera on there, I'm going to get my radio out and just try a little bit of old-fashioned spirit box.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, you know, spirit talker on the phone and all that is really, really good. But I sometimes wonder, and I used to wonder before what happened at Gallows Hill to prove me wrong, I used to wonder, can it scan the area where you are and then throw out words related to that area? So I was always a little bit like the spirit talker, but when we went to Gallows Hill to do the nighttime shoot, not the daytime, the nighttime shoot, Gallows Hill, I think it was Witches Hung at Gallows Hill, nighttime shoot. We put the spirit talker on the phone, and straight away we got a whisper. It went, Alaric. So me and Andy were looking up what Alaric is, because we'd never heard that word. We didn't know what it was or anything. First we related it to a god, a barbarian war, kind of a bit like Alexander the Great, but from the 1400s. And we thought, well, what's that to do with Pendle Hill? Recently, we found out that Alaric, spelt a different way, A-L-U-R-I-C, is actually the first priest in England from 1088. So we're thinking, well, that has a little bit more to do with, you know, Britain and Pendle Hill than a war god from, you know, like Vladimir Taylor. What would he be doing in England? Alright, so because we've got the streamer, because it's raining, I'm going to listen. But if I get anything, I'll let you know. So, have we got any spirit people attached to this watermill, please? It said Abad something, but I didn't get the last word. Abad. What's your name, please? Have you come through before? I think it says something about how it looks. I think I picked you up once before. I was once down here on my own and I got like a youth coming through saying something. Come back please and talk some more. It's the same voice coming through.
It's the same one.
Did you work here? Can you tell us when you left this watermill? I'm Alison, this is Andy. And what's your name, please? There's nothing but right at the beginning we got some. It was the same voice coming through 3 or 4 times. All I got was it works. Well, maybe he's talking about the water.
Oh yeah, it did work. Yeah.
How did your watermill work? What was you pumping the water for? There was some cottages at the bottom end, so perhaps it was their water supply. Can you tell us any history of this forest at all? It's the same voice, but it's like a man this time, deep. It's not the youth that come through last time. He's trying to say something, but I can't pick up what we're doing. Is it? He said, is it? If you try and speak closely to this, you might be able to pick up what you're saying a bit clearer. If we can just start with your name, then we can use your name. One of you, it said. One of you? Which one? Andy or me? It just said one of you. Do you want Andy to have a go? Do you want to have a go?
Yeah.
Just in case you might be more wanted to talk to you.
Seven sounds almost.
There's a voice, it's a man's voice, isn't it, deep coming through? You getting anything? Do you want to try your phone then, Spirit Talker, if you've got it with you, and then just compare?
Can't go yet.
So maybe they want to come through then.
Give it a second, of course. It's him.
You just take the camera and get the umbrella back up. Did you hear anything?
just got a few little things. But
Yeah. Well, you can just get the umbrella back up. It's like the thing. I'm going to try different methods in different places and see what works best. Did you want to try your spirit box here on your phone and see what we get? So this whole area was the watermill. The bridge was there. I actually stood on part of it right now. These old ruins here where Andy stood. Right.
yeah.
We did the scrying down here, didn't we?
Yeah, we did it here, yeah.
So to scry, you basically just make sure everything's dark, get a mirror, preferably a candle in front of the mirror, and then just gaze into the mirror and then just invite spirit to come forward, and then you sometimes get like a mist in the mirror and then it clears and something starts to come, or like you did last week at 4 crosses in, sometimes it can just imprint over your own features, can't it, the person that's coming to do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was, I must admit, it was scary looking in a mirror, because you're conscious of there shouldn't be anything behind you, and if there is, then it makes you a bit...
Yeah, it can unnerve you, can't it?
Yeah, look, it was...
We did do some scrying, we do quite a bit of scrying, but I find it hurts my eyes after a bit scrying. I can only do it for so long and then I have to stop. Alright, so we've got Spirit Talker on the phone app, and we've got an EMF meter just to back up in case there's anybody here. And we'll see if we can get anybody through with some messages. So are there any spirit people here?
Talk to us. Anybody at all? No, it's daytime. Okay. You can talk to us.
Yeah, nothing coming there. Yeah. But it was like we were saying before, sometimes perhaps they prefer other methods to come through. We've never done a Ouija board. We've never done a Ouija board here, have we? So maybe at some future time we'll have to come and bring the Ouija and try that out here. See, my dad saw a ghost in this region up there where the hall is. There's a path coming down, and he saw a hooded monk, like a priest. Well, it was more of a priest with a round hat. You know, the old-fashioned long frock and the round hat.
I like to play games. Oh, come on, let's...
So,
what kind of games do you like to play?
Perhaps he was coming down to the watermill, the priest that Dad saw. It was, well, he actually said it was like an 18th century style, the big round hat and the long black buttoned up frock. And he saw it for a few seconds when he was up here doing paranormal one time on his own. And it came down this way, down this path. So, yeah, you know, this woods is haunted. We've been in here a few times and weird stuff's happened on it. At night anyway. We come out during the day in the rain so we can get it to ourselves. I said that, and there's like 100 people just going to troop past. It's always the way, innit? I'll just show you a bit of where we are anyway. So it's beautiful down here in winter when it's snowed. Yeah, it really is. It's. I think what we'll do is, do you want to go back up there and go that way? Right, so let's go that way and head towards the other side of the river, which is where the derelict cottage is, where we once did a paranormal at night time. A couple of shoots up there. I think we shot one on the phone because the camera battery had run out, if I remember. And sometimes when you're working on your camera you think, brilliant, I've got the best equipment, and then sometimes you've got to switch to your phone for one reason or another and you think, oh brilliant, you know, it's not going to be good. We actually picked up the best evidence on the phone than we did on the camera that night. So it just shows you, if you're somewhere you think it might be haunted or whatever, you want to check out if there's a ghost, just whip your phone out. Just film it? Or just get your sound thing up on the phone? We'll go over here. Show you a little bit of where we are. So this river runs all the way up to Winter Hill. Sometimes you can get through that tunnel up there. See how it is today, because there's been times where we've actually got through that tunnel, but sometimes it's like a deluge down here and you can't get in. It's not too bad today. There's a tunnel back there which, well, me and Andy go in there for shelter really when we get rained off. It runs under the road. So have you still got Spirit Talker on there?
Yeah, you're very joyful.
Very joyful. We are, considering it's the weather's
really
brilliant.
here.
We're really here. We're really here.
Where are you really? Where are you then? Where are you? Where are you? Let's be having you. No, I mean that respectfully. So where are you? Whereabouts are you? Whereabouts are you? And who are you? Not mean any harm, any disrespect. I just want to know who you are. And why you're still here. Victim. You were a victim. A victim of what?
Kind of victim.
What happened to you? You were a victim. What were you? You know, what happened to you? Someone harm you? Or were you afraid of somebody? Can you tell us your name? Can you tell us your name? And why are you still here?
I came from a dark place.
You came from a dark place.
Alright.
You came from a dark place, so what happened to you? What happened to you? And who are you? Who are you? And why are you still here? I just want to know your story. And you can let people know your story. Who are you? And why are you still here? Can you tell us your name? Just give us your name. And if you don't want to talk about what happened, just tell us your name. And what year it is.
Are you connected to Smithers Hall? Or are you connected to the abandoned cottage? Or were you summoned through from this dark place?
Cruel.
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 Who was cruel? Is this you talking about? You worked at Smithers Hall. Are you talking about the people who were all over the place? Are you talking about the people who own the place?
This was all their land. All the way up to Scout Road, it was their
People
land.
you worked for are very cruel. Is that what you mean? Can you light these lights off? You're around us. You're around us. Can you light these lights off? Just want to know who was cruel. What year? What year was it? Or what year did you die? Which way do you want us to go?
Gone quiet, or is there something? Gone quiet. you want to head on up towards the abandoned cottage then? And if we run out of film by the time we get there, then we'll just start on a second shoot. So, yeah, paranormal equipment. If you guys just want to, wherever you are, start up a little bit of paranormal yourself. All you need to do if you've got your phone on you is just, use your camera. One of the things you can do if you're in a building or a room that you think is haunted, if you take about 10 photos one after the other and then compare them, see if you get any orb or any mist on just one photo. Use your recorder, your voice recorder, just ask out and let it run and play it back and see if you've got anything, any responses. Don't be afraid of the spirit world if you've got any unusual things going on around you. Just invite it, welcome it gently towards you. And you can find out you can get a really good conversation going with spirit, different methods of communication, and it's not all negative and bad, You can get some people the same in spirit as they are in life. I believe they pass over and they have that same personality, that same outlook on life, and they're going to come through. So if they were mischievous, they might do some mischievous things. If they're miserable and grumpy, you might pick up like a grunt or a sigh or whatever. If they were a happy person or a really sort of good natured person, then they'll probably give you some gentle message. And also, if I think someone's committed serious crimes in this world, like say serial killers, people like that, I do believe they carry that negativity over into the next world. And I think that they're the ones that do come back as negative, evil, dark entities, possibly even poltergeist spirits. But we still continue the quest because as yet, none of us really knows. So we'll head on up to the road.
To the...
and cross over and then go up towards the cottage. But I've got a feeling that we're going to lose battery before then, so we might have to stop and then do that on the second shoot.
Yeah.
So it's totally different during the day. You come down here at night and it's just really spooky and creepy, and I think sometimes the dark can make you feel like everything's haunted. And I think, as we've said before on so many shoots, that when you're working in the dark, your eyes, your ears, your senses are like 100% sharp, sharper than they are during the day. Your instinct to survive kicks in, so you do hear and see things a lot more than you normally would. Alright, so this is the entrance to... Oh my god, someone's trying to mow me down. Probably someone who doesn't like our YouTube channel. Why don't you just put a thumbs down, mate, instead of trying to run me down? Bloody hell, is that really necessary? Why do they just put a thumbs down dislike rather than trying to mow us down in the street? If you don't like us, mate, just put a thumbs down. It's probably that neighbour we're having all that flipping grief with, isn't it? She's probably sent someone out to finish us off completely. Oh, yeah, I'm going to tell the guys. When you get that nightmare neighbour, and I'm talking nightmare neighbour. Andy and I have been dealing with a nightmare neighbour now for 4 years. It's been horrendous. We've had the council involved in everything. It's just gone really nasty lately, so a lot of the reason we come out and shoot all this stuff is to be away from where we actually live right now. And we live in a really nice, decent place. But some scumbags have moved in above us and paid for by the council, naturally, even though Andy and I work full time. It's just, it's turned pretty nasty, and it's going to end up having to go sort of through the legal realms, and it's not something we want to do, but it leaves us no choice at the end of the day. And every time somebody tries to mow me down in the street like that, I think it's either someone who hates our channel or it's those neighbours. What do you think, Andy? Are you with me on that?
And the thing is, we'll have them.
Oh yeah, we certainly will.
Don't you worry.
Anyway,
don't you worry.
We just like to let people know what's going on in our personal lives, don't we, as well as doing the YouTube and all that. Not everything runs perfectly and smoothly according to plan in your day-to-day life, does it?
Everybody.
I think if anybody said that their life was 100% perfect with no problems and issues, they're either very lucky or they're lying.
Yeah, I mean, life's
full of problems,
that,
isn't it? One after another after another. You have to solve one, another comes.
Life's just dealing with stuff, innit?
Yeah,
it's
like
dealing with stuff, and you deal with it, and you move on, and you get on.
It's like we're on some sort of learning pattern, learning curve.
Yeah, we're right.
I think you're practicing this life, so you're ready for the next realm.
Yeah.
Even if you're battling with disgruntled neighbours, you know, it's just...
I always say, what goes round comes
Oh
round.
yeah,
And
I hate to keep putting my finger in the lens, but we're just getting rained on right now. I need to get this umbrella
yeah,
back up.
it's,
That's what happens when I'm ranting. The camera goes one way and the brolly goes the other. I'll stop ranting now, let's just get on with the nice autumn day, innit?
but yeah. Yeah.
So it's up here, where there's a piece of tree stump. Did you film it the right way? Looks like a monk kneeling in prayer, and it had me one time because I was walking down here on my own, dusk, and I thought, my God, it's a monk kneeling in prayer. And when I got close to it, it wasn't, it was a tree stump. So I'm going to get up here and show you that, because it just shows you how, if people want to, can fake the paranormal, which we won't do that. I don't believe in that at all, yeah. No matter how big or popular your YouTube gets or whatever, don't start faking it, because that's just it's a quick way. Oh, people coming up. We'll just turn it this way, mate. Lots of people coming up. I don't want to kill anybody with the umbrella. I'm not bothered about that, really. Let's get this down first. Right, we'll go and show people that tree stump.
Yeah.
It's just up here. I think it's just over there somewhere. But you have to get on the other side to be able to film it properly. If you walk down the other side, get it from there. So we're going to head up that side and show you from that side. It is a really creepy looking thing, and I'm going to show you that right now. We just had a few people walking through the woods, so I had to turn quickly around them because I don't like to pick up people on camera. If they want to come on, that's fine, if they've any stories to tell. But I don't really want to just capture people because not everybody likes it. They don't want to be filmed. Some people do respect that. Now that's it there. Now look at that stump
God,
there.
yeah.
Now does that not look?
Looks like somebody kneeling.
Does that not look like?
It freaked us out a couple of times.
It's like a monk kneeling in prayer, isn't it?
in the dark.
If you come down here at dusk,
Yeah.
that looks like a monk kneeling in prayer. Now I came down here at dusk and I was on that bridge there and I was staring at it for ages. And I walked down and walked back and it never moved, and I freaked out and I thought, oh my God. Then I had to walk over and I thought I was so relieved that it was just
pretty scary.
a tree stump.
Yeah, it is.
But it just shows you've done it, Andy, how things can look different in the dark. And now your mind can assume, play tricks on you.
A classic example is that solo thing I did at the Four Crosses last week.
Yeah.
The ladies' toilets is on, so there was nobody in there, so I'm filming. And I've got a mirror right in front of me. Now twice it looks as though somebody walked past the mirror and walked back. So I'm like, oh my God, I've got somebody walking past the mirror. So when we look back at it, the room where everybody put their coats and the stuff was directly in line with that. So it wasn't an apparition walking past, it was obviously somebody in the room. But I could quite easily have said, oh God, look what we've caught. We've caught an apparition going past the mirror and going back, and because there's nothing there that they can go past. But what was the point? So at the end of the day, although it would have been absolutely brilliant, it wasn't what I thought it was.
No.
It was obviously somebody in that room walking back, had gone one way and then somebody gone past the other way.
That's
so
right.
it wasn't
And that's
spirit,
why
but
you've always got to check it out, double check it out and debunk it. I think the thing is, because you build your hopes up so much that you want paranormal and you really want it to be paranormal, when you have to debunk it and you do, you feel really disappointed because it's not what you wanted.
Yeah.
But you have to be honest with yourself and with everyone watching that it's either is,
Yeah, because
and you can't explain it, or it isn't.
you feel, I mean, we had it when we were at Tuckles during the day. I think the last time we went up there, and we had them noises.
Yeah.
And then when we've gone back, we've got the noise. The noises are definitely there. The noises is something that I cannot explain. But when the camera panned round, it looked like, how can I put it? It looked like a Bigfoot in the bushes.
Yeah.
When you look back and you think about it, you think it's either some kind of wall or it's a tree. But when you pan round and you're like, I've got to look at this again, that's something there, and then you think, load on, if that something had been there when we were filming, we'd have noticed it. and I think we worked out it was either a gap in the wall or it was some kind of old archway or something like that. So it wasn't anything unexplained or anything like that. It was quite easy. But at the time you're thinking, oh God, that's amazing. We caught something. And then it isn't.
Yeah, it's a bit of a letdown.
You know, so I could have quite easily said, oh God, look what we've caught, a mysterious figure in there. That could have been what was making the noises. But it wasn't. What was making the noises, I have no idea.
What we'll do is we'll start the abandoned cottage on part 2 of If You Go Down in the Woods, and we're going to go around the abandoned garden centre and some trees that have fallen down in the last storm that we had here, and see what we get. We'll try again with the paranormal equipment, because you can easily get ghosts and spirits during the day as you can at night time. It's just more scarier at night.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we'll see you guys on part 2.